So you've wrapped up an investigation at Skinwalker Ranch, and it's time to head home. Should be the end of it, right? Not necessarily. Tonight we dive into one of the eeriest and most mysterious phenomena tied to Skinwalker Ranch, the hitchhiker effect. This unsettling occurrence involves individuals experiencing strange paranormal phenomena long after leaving the ranch, as if the haunting presence follows them home. Whether it's shadowy figures, unexplained noises, or otherworldly encounters, the hitchhiker effect is a chilling reminder that some things don't stay behind even when the investigation is over. Skinwalker Ranch is a 512-acre property in Uinta County, Utah, infamous for its paranormal activity, UFO sightings, and strange phenomena. It has been a hotspot for unexplained events for decades, with a history of indigenous legends, government investigations, and private research. The land originally belonged to the Ute tribe, who believe the area is cursed and inhabited by skinwalkers, shape-shifting entities from Navajo legend. The Utes reportedly avoid the ranch, considering it a place of dark supernatural forces. Terry and Gwen Sherman bought Skinwalker Ranch in 1994 for cattle ranching, but soon encountered bizarre events, including gun-proof, wolf-like creatures, cattle mutilations, floating orbs, and UFOs, as well as poltergeist-like activity in their home. In 1996, after experiencing this disturbing phenomena, the Shermans sold the ranch to Robert Bigelow, who founded the National Institute for Discovery Science, or NIDS, to investigate. The team reported portals, shadow figures, and electromagnetic anomalies, leading to continued research under Bigelow's BASS program, which collaborated with the United States government. The Pentagon secretly funded research at the ranch under the OSAP and ATIP programs, which were focused on UFOs and unexplained aerial phenomena, from 2008 to 2013. In 2016, Brandon Fugel purchased the ranch and initiated new scientific investigations. The History Channel's The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch documents ongoing anomalies, including electromagnetic spikes, UFO activity, underground structures, and physical effects on researchers. One of the most well-known phenomena associated with Skinwalker Ranch is what's been dubbed the hitchhiker effect. This term was coined by those investigating the ranch, especially during the government-funded OSAP and BASS studies. Researchers, security personnel, and even journalists have reported strange occurrences that followed them home after visiting the ranch. Investigative journalist George Knapp, who's visited the ranch multiple times and co-authored books on the subject, has also spoken about the hitchhiker phenomenon. Many visitors to Skinwalker later experienced poltergeist-like disturbances in their homes, often affecting their entire families. Common occurrences include objects moving unexpectedly, with items found in places they weren't last seen, doors slamming shut, even when locked or with no one nearby, lights flickering on and off with no clear cause, mysterious knocking or banging, sometimes seemingly in response to the occupants, and appliances malfunctioning, such as TVs, radios, and computers turning on by themselves. Government investigator James Lukatsky with OSAP, who visited Skinwalker, reported unsettling experiences that began after his visit. Upon returning home, his wife started noticing strange disturbances in their house. It began with kitchen chairs mysteriously being pulled out from the table, as if someone had sat down without anyone actually being present. This was followed by the disappearance of personal belongings, including keys, wallets, and other everyday items, only for them to reappear later in random locations. The couple also noticed inexplicable noises, like doors creaking or furniture shifting, without any clear source. These unsettling events persisted for several weeks, leaving the investigator and his wife feeling increasingly unnerved, especially given the coincidental timing with his visit to the ranch. The wife, who had not visited the ranch herself, was especially affected by the sudden onset of these phenomena, leading the investigator to suspect that something from the ranch had attached itself to him or their household. One of the most frightening aspects of the hitchhiker effect is the appearance of shadow figures or ghostly entities in the homes of visitors. These entities are often described as dark, humanoid shapes with no clear facial features, sometimes accompanied by glowing red or yellow eyes visible in the darkness. They often manifest in bedrooms, standing at the foot of the bed, or appear to move through walls, giving the eerie sensation of being watched without being physically present. Members of Bigelow's NIDS team, who studied Skinwalker in the 1990s, reported similar disturbances once they returned home. These included unexplained knocks on windows and walls, dark figures moving through their houses, and even children witnessing strange beings. In one case, an investigator's entire family experienced poltergeist-like phenomena for months after leaving the ranch, with objects moving on their own and unsettling noises occurring without cause. Dr. Eric Davis, a former scientist and consultant for OSAP, reported a chilling experience involving his teenage son. After returning home, the family began experiencing strange disturbances, but the most unsettling event occurred one night when his son was in his bedroom. He woke to find a dark, shapeless mass materializing at the foot of his bed. The black mass appeared to be watching him, creating an overwhelming sense of dread. The teenager was too terrified to move, and he described the figure as having a malevolent presence, though it did not physically engage with him. After a few moments, the entity suddenly vanished without a trace, leaving the boy shaken and unable to explain what had happened. His father, who had been involved in the government's research at the ranch, was deeply disturbed by the incident and began to wonder if the strange occurrences were linked to their time spent at Skinwalker. Many family members of visitors to the ranch have reported severe sleep disturbances, often feeling as though something is in the room with them. These experiences include sudden sleep paralysis, where they wake up unable to move and feel a presence in the room, vivid nightmares involving creatures or shadowy beings that often recur for weeks or months, and a general feeling of being watched while sleeping, even when alone. George Knapp, the award-winning investigative journalist and one of the most prominent figures involved in the Skinwalker Ranch research, reported a disturbing experience involving his wife, who had never been to the ranch herself. Shortly after his return, his wife began waking up in the middle of the night with an overwhelming sense of paralyzing fear. She felt as though something or someone was staring at her from the hallway outside their bedroom, though she could never see anything clearly. The fear was so intense that she couldn't move or call out, and it happened repeatedly over several nights. Despite never having visited the ranch, she felt as though she was being watched, a sensation that deeply unsettled her. The investigator linked this experience to his trip to Skinwalker Ranch, suspecting that some negative energy or presence had somehow attached itself to him or his family. Many who have visited the ranch later report their pets behaving strangely or even being physically affected by unseen forces. Dogs are often observed growling at empty spaces or acting fearful of certain areas in the house, while pets may refuse to enter rooms they previously had no issue with. Animals also show signs of distress, such as whimpering, hiding, or running in circles, and some even develop mysterious injuries with no clear reason for them. These strange behaviors contribute to the growing body of reports, suggesting that the ranch's eerie phenomena may extend beyond human experiences, affecting pets as well. Dr. Travis Taylor, a scientist and engineer who was part of the research team studying Skinwalker Ranch under Brandon Fugel and later featured on the History Channel series The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, reported a particularly unsettling experience involving his dog after returning home from the ranch. For weeks, the dog refused to go upstairs in their house, displaying an intense fear of the area. The animal would growl at something unseen, staring into the empty space as if reacting to a presence that was invisible to the human eye. The dog would not cross the threshold of a specific room upstairs, as though it was being kept away by an invisible force. This strange behavior persisted for weeks, leading the investigator to wonder if something from the ranch had followed him home, affecting not only him, but also his pet. Some investigators, security guards, and even their family members have reported unexplained physical marks appearing on their bodies after visiting the ranch. These marks often include scratches or claw-like wounds that appear overnight, bruises or burns with no identifiable cause, and even sudden dizziness or nausea while inside their homes. Thomas Winterton, the ranch superintendent, has shared his own bizarre experiences, including physical symptoms that would appear without warning and then vanish just as quickly, leaving no explanation. These strange occurrences contribute to the growing list of unexplained phenomena linked to the ranch, suggesting a potentially disturbing connection between its mysterious forces and the people who encounter them. In one particular instance, Winterton described experiencing severe headaches and a burning sensation on his skin, which also vanished without any apparent cause. These strange physical symptoms became a frequent occurrence during his time at the ranch, and Winterton has openly speculated that they may be linked to the paranormal activity and electromagnetic anomalies that have been reported at the site. Bryant Dragon Arnold, the security chief for Brendan Fugel, reported a particularly unsettling experience after investigating a mysterious zone on the ranch. After spending time in the area, Arnold woke up the following morning to find long, deep scratches on his back, marks that he could not explain. The scratches were significant and appeared to be made by something with claws, but Arnold couldn't recall any physical incident that could have caused them. The experience left him shaken, especially considering the mysterious and dangerous reputation of the area he had been investigating. Many people who experience the hitchhiker effect report hearing whispering voices when no one else is around, or the unsettling sound of their own name being called in their empty houses. Electronic devices often malfunction inexplicably, with phone calls from unknown numbers, sometimes accompanied by static or eerie sounds, and TVs and radios turning on by themselves, occasionally playing distorted voices or static. Even smart home devices become affected, randomly activating or responding to commands that were never given. These strange phenomena contribute to the eerie feeling that something from the ranch has followed them home, continuing to disrupt their lives in unexpected ways. While many visitors to Skinwalker Ranch report seeing lights and UFOs on the property, some have claimed that these phenomena followed them home. They describe orbs of light appearing in their backyards or floating outside windows, and bright flashes in the sky near their homes. Some have also reported seeing drones or strange aerial craft hovering nearby, often without making any sound. In addition, electromagnetic disturbances have been experienced, affecting cars and household appliances, causing them to malfunction or behave erratically. James Peniston, a former U.S. Air Force officer who was involved with the Rendlesham Forest incident and later worked as a contractor at Skinwalker Ranch, reported a particularly eerie experience involving glowing orbs. After his time at the ranch, he began noticing glowing orbs floating in the woods behind his house, visible during the night. These orbs appeared to hover and move through the trees, but he couldn't identify a clear source for them. His security cameras captured strange flashes of light, but when he checked the footage, there was no visible object or explanation for the phenomenon. Despite the evidence recorded by the cameras, he was unable to find any physical source for the lights, leading him to believe the orbs might be connected to the strange experiences he had at Skinwalker Ranch. Many people who have experienced post-visit phenomena after visiting the ranch report lasting emotional and psychological changes. These changes often include anxiety and paranoia, with individuals feeling as though they are constantly being watched, even when alone. Some report experiencing depression or mood swings that persist for weeks after leaving the ranch. Visitors have also mentioned recurring thoughts or visions of the ranch, with some feeling an inexplicable pull to return. In addition, many experience dreams that are disturbingly vivid and realistic, often involving the ranch and its mysterious phenomena. These lasting effects suggest that the ranch's paranormal activities may have a profound impact on those who spend time there, extending far beyond their visit. Among those experiencing these phenomena are Dr. Colm Kelleher, the lead scientist involved with the ranch's study under Bigelow's ownership. His personal experiences include feeling constantly watched and experiencing paranoia and anxiety long after his visit. Dr. James Lakatsky reported disturbing psychological effects he and his wife experienced after their visit to the ranch. For months after their time at Skinwalker, both Dr. Lakatsky and his wife felt an unshakable sense of being watched, even when they were alone in their home. This feeling of constant surveillance became so pervasive that it deeply affected their daily lives. In addition, his wife began experiencing recurring nightmares involving an unseen presence in their home. These dreams were vivid and disturbing, often involving a sense of something lurking nearby, though it was never visible. This series of emotional and psychological disturbances was so intense that both of them began to suspect that some lingering force or energy from the ranch had followed them home, contributing to their ongoing distress. Skinwalker Ranch stands as a compelling enigma at the intersection of science, folklore, and the paranormal. Its reputation for strange and unexplainable events, ranging from UFO sightings to mysterious creatures and psychological disturbances, raises more questions than answers. Whether the phenomena at the ranch are the result of electromagnetic anomalies, extraterrestrial activity, or something beyond our current understanding of reality, the sheer volume of reports from credible witnesses continues to intrigue and perplex. As investigations continue and more stories emerge, Skinwalker Ranch remains a powerful symbol of the unexplained, challenging our perceptions of what is possible and inviting us to consider that there may be forces at work in the world that we have yet to fully comprehend. So that wraps up our deep dive into the hitchhiker effect at Skinwalker Ranch. The idea that something unseen can attach itself to visitors and follow them home is as fascinating as it is terrifying. Is it a paranormal phenomenon, a psychological effect, or something that science can't explain yet? Let me know your thoughts and leave them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the unknown. Thank you for watching, and remember, stay curious and keep it spooky.